let us quickly see how the chromatin material is before the cell division and during the cell division. So before the cell division, it will be thread-like. I'll just show you. It is in the chromosome. So this is how it will be. Observe this particular diagram. It's thread-like. Now during the cell division, it will wound and form into chromosomes. See, slowly it will wound each other and then the chromosomes will be formed. So this is how the cell division will take place, students. So there are two cells which is undergoing division. Here you can see the chromosomes which are in rod shapes. So this is how the chromatin material will behave before and during the cell division. Now let's have a quick recap about the parts present in the nucleus. Here are the parts, and I have typed the structure of each part and also the functions of each. So the nuclear envelope or the nuclear membrane, it's made up of two layers and it has some pores on it. So this nuclear envelope provides protection to the nucleus. The nuclear pore is nothing but small pores in the nuclear membrane. So these pores will help in transfer of materials in and out of the nucleus. Coming to the nucleoplasm. Nucleoplasm is the fluid which is present in the nucleus, where your nucleolus and the chromatin materials are embedded. Then in that nucleoplasm, you have another material, that is your chromatin network, which is thread-like in nature, which has the genetic material in it, and during the cell division, it forms chromosomes. Chromosomes are nothing but they are rod-like structures which has the DNA. DNA in turn has the gene segments. I hope it's clear. Now coming to the functions of nucleus. Students, nucleus is like a leader. It will try to take control of all the cellular activities. So once the nucleus divides, that means there are different new cells are formed. And each cell will have its own fate. For example, heart cell will divide and give rise to heart cell only with its own shape. Your body, the skin cell, will try to divide and give to its own skin cells. For that, nucleus plays an important role. And here, this is what I explained, where the nucleus will decide what the cell will give rise to during its maturity. And all these things happen because of some chemical activities which is taking place in the cell. Now, depending upon the nucleus, there are two types of cells which are broadly classified into eukaryotic and the prokaryotic cells. Students, just observe these diagrams. Here in the eukaryotic cells, you can see that the genetic material or whatever the contents are present in the nucleus is being confined inside the nuclear membrane and it is present in one proper location. But in your prokaryotic cell, for example, your bacteria, here you can see the genetic material is just floating in the cytoplasm. So what do you understand by this is that the nuclear membrane is present in the eukaryotic cells, but in prokaryotic cells, the nuclear membrane is not present and hence they are known as nucleosomes. So here you have a well-defined nucleus. Here you do not have a well-defined nucleus. I hope it's clear. Moving on to some values which you can learn from this nucleus is that you all know that the DNA is present in the nucleus, which transfers characters from one generation to other generation. Similar to this DNA, you can also transfer good behaviors and learning to others who are living in your vicinity. And the way nucleus divides perfectly, if nucleus does not divide perfectly, it will lead to various diseases and deformations, and hence the way the nucleus divides, even you have to strive hard for the perfection and excellence in your studies. I hope you understood the topic. So students, the nucleus runs the entire cell. So let us give a vote of thanks to the nucleus so that it performs well to keep us healthy and happy. Thank you students. Have a great day.